to have this friend, and unlike bowling ball guy, I mean an actual friend and not just somebody I knew for a long time. We're gonna call this friend Reggie. Now, Reggie lived his life like it was a dream. And what I mean is that nothing he did made sense. He would have ideas like, let's go mini golfing, but instead of hitting it like a golf ball, we hit it like a billiard ball. Or let's drive down to the city and bet on who can catch pigeons first. Now, we didn't hang out all the time, but whenever he would have a wild idea, I was usually the one that he called until one day I got into a long-term relationship, and out of respect for my relationship, Reggie and I didn't speak anymore. So fast forward a year out of that relationship, Reggie and I would comment on each other's social media posts a little more often, and we made a couple empty plans to hang out, but nothing really ever came of it until one day he had another Reggie original idea.
Man, nobody's reading all of that, man.
So I drive down to Georgia. I get to the hotel. Me and Reggie greet, we chest bump, and he is super excited because he still hasn't told me the rest of the plan. He tells me that he booked the gold package, which came with a 5-course meal, a margarita flight, and he would have booked the platinum package, but he didn't know if I like caviar. I tell him that he does not have to upgrade the package. I actually feel bad at this point because the only thing that I brought was balloons. Then he directs me to the kitchen, and I notice that there's a bottle of Bel Air on the table. And he offers me a glass and says that it's his favorite wine and he wanted me to try it. I told him that I'm not a big drinker, and if our experience already comes with margaritas, then I'll just have one of those and I'll pass on the wine. So he has a few glasses and he just keeps going on and on about how our plan is just to.
Let me tell you about an app called Free Cash. Free Cash is the #1 app worldwide allowing users like yourself to make money off their phone for free. If you want to make $200 plus a week for free, download using my link in the description or the QR code on the screen. If you download now for free using my link or QR code, you will get a free $5 into your account for free. That's $5 for free, no requirements. So download Free Cash today to make easy, quick, and free money.
Fool everybody there, and everybody's going to want to talk to us. Everybody's going to want to take pictures of us. The whole staff is already ready to see us, and basically we're just going to be treated like the Obamas. Now, of course, when we get there, it's not as dramatic as he thought it was going to be. Then he notices that there's no paparazzi. I mean, photographer. And he makes a gigantic scene that there's no one out there to take our pictures. Then we get inside, and as if our outfits aren't already loud enough, he's literally dapping up every single person who passes by and asking,
"Where's the photographer?"
So we start playing a few games, and I am winning every single one of them, and I love that for me. But Reggie is more concerned with being the center of attention and garnering compliments from everybody around us. And while it is getting kind of annoying because I feel like he's doing too much to be the center of attention, I do understand that Reggie is a lot more outgoing than I am, and he's probably really excited because he's been planning this for about a month. Then our meal slot comes up, and the hostess calls us to be seated. And when we get to her, she says our outfits are adorable, and she asks us how long we've been together. I did not know Reggie already had a story in mind, and while he's telling the story, the words "we're not" have already come out of my mouth. And when we're seated, Reggie tells me that we need to get our story together if we're gonna fool everybody. Now, the seating that Reggie has chosen, of course, is right up front, and we're essentially eye level with everyone who's passing by. So Reggie is still trying to get everyone's attention. He's asking for advice from all of the older couples. Then the food starts to come out, and a few things happen here. One, the guy in the couple behind us is drunk as a skunk and keeps giving his unwarranted advice about every single course that comes out because they're about 3 courses ahead of us. Two, I really can't tell, but it feels like Reggie is trying to be affectionate. And 3, if Reggie's need for attention isn't already making me want to leave, there is an event that's about to happen that really takes the cake. So the first course comes out, and it's caviar. Now, the guy behind us is just hooting and hollering about how he hates caviar, and now Reggie is just echoing his sentiments. Now, the second course comes out, and it's hummus and labna. I never tried labna, but I don't like hummus. Reggie had never tried either one of them. So when we tried it, I did like the labna, and Reggie liked the hummus, right up until the guy behind us says that hummus is disgusting, it's just sour mush and beans, and now Reggie is also shouting that he hates it as well, and they're both being super obnoxious. And every course after that went the exact same way. Now, simultaneously, Reggie is trying to sit closer to me. He keeps trying to put his arm around me between courses, knowing that I'm going to move his arm, but he keeps trying to do it anyway to be funny. Then he tries to feed me, and I look at him like he's crazy, and he says,
"We still have to."
Wait, bro. Time out, fam. You trying to tell me
This bird got dude in the friend zone, but she's leeching off him for free meals? That's what it sounds like to me, because she used to go on dates with dude at first. Then she got into a long-term relationship. So she stopped, I guess, out of respect for her new boyfriend. And right after she returned back to the streets, she ran back to Reggie that she got in the friend zone. But she's on a date with Reggie, eating for free. The thing about a bird will never turn down a free meal, bruh. But so far, this is kind of crazy. Whole time she got dude in the friend zone while eating up all the food? Wow.
Fool everybody. Just do it.
So I open my mouth, he puts the food in, and I bite his finger. And I thought this would deter him, but he continued to try to feed me. And even though I no longer would take the food, he still tried with each subsequent course. Then somewhere towards the dessert course, we look up on the screen and we notice that there is a kiss cam. Reggie turns to me, I say no. He says,
Are we gonna kiss for the kiss cam?
I said, I don't know what you thought I was saying no to, but that would be it. Then he says,
Based on what we're wearing and based on where we're sitting, you know that the kiss cam is gonna hit us. So what are we gonna do when that happens?
I said, you know what? You did say we have to fool everybody. So when the camera comes to us, just turn towards me. And not too long after I said that, the camera does just that and it turns to us. So rather than me turning my face towards Reggie, who's sitting right here, I get out of my seat and go behind Reggie's chair so that he can turn towards me and people can see the back of his head. But rather than Reggie doing that, he also gets up, meets me in the middle, grabs my face, sucks both lips into his mouth, and goes immediately tongue to teeth. I turn my head and wipe my entire face off, and everybody's clapping except for the drunk guy behind us because he witnessed everything and he's laughing hysterically. So I turn and look back at Reggie, and he's just looking around confused like he doesn't even know what happened. He didn't do anything. And then we sat down and he says to me,
I think we fooled everybody.
and proceeds to try to feed me dessert. And I don't know if Reggie is just joking or not, but what I do realize is that I have outgrown the version of me that would have found any of this amusing. So we ended up leaving, and one thing I forgot to mention is that the whole time we were there and Reggie was in character, he was calling me pet names like babe and honey and sweetie.
This is crazy.
So when we got in the car, I noticed that he was still doing the same thing. So at this point, I had already considered driving home, but then I remembered I'd already been drinking. It was past 12 a.m. This was almost a 3-hour drive home, and I would have to be back in Georgia within the next 8 hours to go wedding dress shopping with one of my sisters. So when we got back to the hotel, I told Reggie that I was going to go ahead and get my own room. He said okay, and then he headed up to his room. But when I went to the counter, the guy told me that they didn't have any more available rooms for the night, so my only option at this point was to stay with Reggie. So I went back up to Reggie's room and I explained what happened, and he said it was fine because he already expected me to stay there anyway. So I asked him if he had a pull-out bed, and we went to set it up and noticed that there was no mattress on the pull-out. So Reggie suggested for us to sleep in the same bed, and then he walked over to the bed and put up a pillow fort in the middle and said, this is my side, this is your side. And when we went to sleep, that pillow fort was still there. So sometime during the night, I felt Reggie roll over behind me, and I just figured he was a wild sleeper and he ended up rolling on top of the pillow fort. So I scooted all the way to the edge of the bed to the point that I didn't even have room to put my foot out when I ended up getting hot that night. Then a little later,
Yo, these are the games women play just for a free meal. Now she's telling us a whole story about how she used to go on dates with a guy that she was never into, but he used to bring the vibes, the free meals, the drinks. Yo, nothing is worse than a starving bird, bro. These chicks will do anything for a free meal, fam. And now she's trying to put him down, right? So why even go on a date with a guy that you're not into? It's not making sense. But it's the life of a bird, bro. These chicks will do anything for a free meal. And it's nasty. They will go on a date with anybody who's willing to buy them a free meal. Anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Because these birds are starving. And it's nasty, fam.
I feel Reggie behind me again. Only this time, he puts his arm around me and scoots a little closer, and I can feel that he is completely erect. So I threw his arm back to him and said, "Get off me." And without saying anything, Reggie rolls back to the other side of the
This
bed.
shit is crazy, bro. She's sleeping on the same bed as fam. They on the same bed. They in the bed together. But she's trying to act like she's some good girl. Like, what type of real woman sleeps in the same bed with a man that she's not interested in? Only a bird will do shit like this, bro, because it's a game. All she knows, man, my stomach is filled. Free drinks, free food. Yes, I won. Don't touch me now. I'm good. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I already got what I wanted. You sleeping in the same bed as fam. Y'all in the same bed. That don't even make sense.
And just goes back to sleep. But between that and him
Shit is
snoring,
crazy.
I can't go to sleep anymore. So I pretty much didn't sleep for the rest of that night. And then that morning, Reggie wakes up and he doesn't even mention it. So I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt because he doesn't even seem like the type of person who would do that, let alone to me. Then all of a sudden, he rolls over and puts his head in my lap and starts telling me about the itinerary that he had planned for us that weekend. And he starts back calling me pet names. So I moved his head out of my lap and I told him that I already have plans because in a couple hours, I'll be wedding dress shopping with one of my sisters. And he starts pouting and telling me that this is supposed to be our weekend. So I reminded him that we only made plans for Valentine's Day. So he asked me if I could come back to the hotel after my sister's appointment, and I told him no.
What the hell? This man was your. He was your Valentine's? So you used him for the moment. Yo, wow, fam. Because on that day, birds are lonely as shit. A bird will not say no to a date on that day. This is. Yo, nah, bro. These birds ain't got no shame. None. Shit is crazy.
Then he asked if all three of us can just have lunch together because he also knows my sister. And again, I told him no. So I tell him that I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to go ahead and leave. And I start getting my things ready to get in the shower. And as he passes by, he gives me a kiss on the cheek and he says, "I'll see you later." So I wiped the kiss off my cheek and I said, "No, you won't." Then the next day, he sent me a screenshot of the conversation that he had with the venue that we went to. So, seeing his continued excitement, I went ahead and sent him a message just to clear up any of the confusion that I was having. And feel free to tell me your thoughts.
Mm,
I'm going to do this story time in a way that I've never done it before.
This right here is nasty, man. It just shows these women will do anything for a free meal. They will put themselves in uncomfortable situations and then play victim. If you're not interested in a man, why even go on a date or put yourself in that position? This was Valentine's Day. You see what I'm saying? So this wasn't no random. This was Valentine's Day. He's expecting some love at the end of the night because I'm pretty sure he spent a ticket. He took you out to eat on Valentine's. Everything is expensive on that night. And this is the thanks he got. She tried to play this man like, "Oh, don't touch me. Oh my God." But mind you, she was messing with him before she got into a long-term relationship. So she put him in the friend zone and was enjoying the benefits of him. Then after the player had his fun and moved around and she returned back to the streets, she went right back to the trick, Reggie. Because I'm pretty sure she still got him in her back pocket till this day. Man, fellas, respect yourselves out here, bro. And I always tell you guys, man, don't feed the birds, man. This right here is just sad. But please leave your thoughts in the comments. It's your boy AyeQ. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm out.
This is what you imagine him getting a hospital interview with and the baby's coming out. Fellas, again, focus on yourself. That's what it is.